Nice words. Hey, back to another release you have on Vapor label. Skid Times Careful. Do I pronounce it correctly, or is it Skid and Careful?
I think it's Skid and Careful. I think it's like sort of like a cool thing to replace the and with an X.
Can you tell me a little about this? Because this is a special release, right?
Yeah, so Skid and Careful are two young guys from London who are like really at the front of this wave movement, which is sort of a genre that is really bubbling and emerging right now. And I'm a big fan of it personally. I've been listening to wave music for quite some time, and when we decided to do Vapor, I was kind of like, well, it would be pretty cool to like work with some of these guys that I've been like listening to for a while. So I reached out, and I mean the rest is history. We're going to be doing music together now, and I'm very happy about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, can anyone apply for a release on your label, or how does that work? And if I have some cool music, do you want me to send it to you, or?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, I would be lying if I said that it's just a matter of like sending it and whatever. It's not, because it is difficult, especially I remember I've been working with labels before, and there's so many emails in like an A&R's inbox that it's like literally impossible to go through everything. I think the best way, not just for Vapor, but for any label ever, is do your music. Don't think too much about labels. Like, put it out there. Just put it on your SoundCloud, your YouTube, and your Twitter, or whatever you got. And just, if it's good enough, let it sort of grow organically and reach people. And eventually someone is going to reach out. I mean, feel free to tweet me your music, and chances are I might check it out. And yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, staying persistent and just like not caring too much, I think is key to getting signed, I guess.
We're here at the Armada HQ, of course, right now. Mm-hmm. What holds the near future for you?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You live by the day, of course. Yeah.
I mean, I guess
touring, more signing. Any practical things coming up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm playing Tomorrowland next month. Yeah, so I played the talent stage a couple of years ago, and now I'm playing Laid Back Luke stage, which is quite big, I've been told, which is cool. Especially because I'm a big fan of Laid Back Luke. I think it's cool that he's managed to just stay on top of his game for that long. He seems to have a little bit of the same sort of approach of just, going a day at a time, and have a lot of respect for him. And then, of course, like releasing a lot of new music, and yeah, I mean, I have a lot of music ready. I think I have 8 or 9 records that are coming out over the next, I think, 6 months or so. So yeah,
they're all singles. I mean, there's not going to be an album.
Originally, last year I wanted to do an album, and I was actually preparing to do an album, and I had all the records lined up and everything. I think I maybe have 20 records right now on my hard drive, and they were supposed to be an album, but I felt like it made more sense to just put them out as singles, especially because all of it is sort of single material. There is no greater concept. It's just a bunch of records that I thought were cool. So yeah.
You could release them on your own label, for fuck's sake.
I'm going to.
I mean, the whole album, because I think it would be fantastic to have the music as an album.
Yeah, I mean, it would, but I don't know. I think when you put stuff out as singles, it gives you a little bit more space to sort of dive into the story of every record. Especially now, the record I just put out, Bad Blood, is very different than some of the other records that I'm going to be putting out. So I mean, putting them together in an album is one way to do it, but I feel like it doesn't tell the whole story of the record. So Bad Blood is very different, and I want to sort of explain why it's different, and I want to like dive into that sound for a while, and then sort of move on to something else that has another point, I guess.
One last thing. I love the pictures that you took in Asia. There was one of the castle in Osaka. Did you go there and visit, or?
Yeah. So whenever I travel, because in order to make it bearable to sit on a plane for like 18 hours every day, I try to like actually go see stuff, There's this tendency, especially when you travel for work or as a DJ or whatever, you go somewhere, you're there for like 24 hours, and you spend most of the time in a hotel room or in a cab. So I don't know how long I'll be doing this. I'm still young, and I'm still able to go see the world, and I don't know, I never know what my life looks like. So I decided, well, as long as I'm going somewhere, I want to like make the best of it and go see it. Who knows if that's the first and last time I'll ever be in Osaka. So let me go see what there is to see in Osaka, right? So yeah.
It reminds me of this quote I found, 22nd of May. I'm turning 26 today, slowly getting too old to live fast and die young.
Yeah, well, that's I realized a lot of these like pop legends that so to say died young. They all died around like 27. So 26, 27. So I mean, when I turn 28, that's it. I'll be an old fart. If I die, nobody cares.
The Stones are still playing. I mean, they're like 89.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll do the same.
Exactly. Better hang on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.